Hi everybody, welcome to Cooking with Carolina. I am Carolina Cooney. I'll be your host this evening, and tonight we are going to be making a Moroccan chicken tagine, which is one of my favorite comfort foods. It's gotten kind of cooler here on Martha's Vineyard, and I wanted something like warm and delicious to eat. So that's what I decided to make this evening. As always, our show is sponsored by the Library Friends of Oak Bluffs, and you can see that we have a little donation link if you would like to donate to them and help us with all our programming. That would be fantastic. And let's get underway. So the first thing we're going to do is to make our chicken marinade. So we will start by chopping an onion. A medium-sized white onion, yellow onion. Nothing too fancy. And I always remove the outer layer of onion just because sometimes that can have a little toughness to it. Get all the peel there. And we're going to chop this pretty finely. Now, if you've watched the show before, you might know that the onions sometimes really get to me and make me cry, but today I'm wearing my contact lenses, so I have my eye armor on. So I'm good to go. And just a reminder that if you want to see the final product after cooking, sometimes if the cooking goes on too long, I don't want to make y'all wait. But I do post in the comments when the final dish is done and plated so you can see how it turns out. Okay, so that's a chop, but I'm going to do this as a fine chop. So we're going to get on in here a little more. You could potentially even use a food processor to make this marinade, but I kind of like doing it by hand. I think that's about good. Then I have a bowl to put the marinade in. So there's our onion. now we need 1 or 2 cloves of garlic. I'm gonna go with 2 because I'm feeling like some garlic tonight. To facilitate the removal of the garlic skin, you can take the garlic and press it down on its bottom. Hi Tim, thank you for your comment. It's going to be very good. You will wish that you could taste it. I'm excited because I haven't made this for quite a while. And it's one of my favorite dishes. Alright, so now, if you want to use your big knife you can. I think I'm going to switch to my smaller. If you want, you can take out the little green shoot that's coming up from your garlic. Or it might be if your garlic has gotten to that point of growing. Or you can leave it. I think it's a better flavor that it produces without. Alright, now we'll chop this all up fine as well. This, you might say we're going to mince it. I don't know why I think of the worst puns on the show. If you don't want to mince words, you'll say you're going to mince it. It is a library show after all, so I guess we can be wordy nerdies. That nice chop chop going. Chop chop chop. Clear your knife every once in a while. And I'd say that's about good. Now we'll add this in with the onion. And now we'll take a nice bunch of parsley. And remove as much of the stem as you can. You don't have to get crazy about it, but try to get the big chunky parts. Parsley is such a beautiful, vibrant green. Alrighty, a little bit more of right there. Okay, now go back to the big knife. Let's mince this up. And you could even use a little more parsley than this. They tend to go quite heavy on the herbs in Morocco. And it does add a lot of delicious flavor. All right, that's a lovely mince there. I think I have some special guest appearances.
Hello, guys.
That's Dexter.
Hi, guys. This is my Mandalorian ship.
And that's Dashel.
And this is Baby Yoda. Onion.
I already cut the onion.
What? You cut onions where? Is this an onion?
No, that's garlic.
No, where's the onion? Where's the? Is that an onion?
No, well, yeah, that's the. There's the onion.
I hate onions, guys.
I like onions. All right, you.
My mom likes onion soup too, guys.
It's true, I do like onion soup too. I think we made that once on the show, actually.
Can we watch The Mandalorian?
Not yet. I told you. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing with our coriander here. Fresh coriander, also known as cilantro.
What?
Oh, will you guys put the chickens to bed?
Not it. I always put them to bed. You're scared of the dark.
Okay, so we've removed our biggest stems here for the most part.
Yeah, then that means you're lazy.
All right, now let's mince this up as well. And you can use pretty much an even amount of the cilantro. Thank you, Tim. One day they will like onions too, I hope.
Mom, you'll never like.
Somebody said hi to you, honey.
I will never like.
Maybe you will. You might be surprised. They add delicious flavor. Plus, they smell so good when they're cooking. Few things smell better than onions cooking, I think. It's the best smell.
Wait, Mom, have you seen Mr. Baby Yoda?
I have not. All right. That is our nice, finely minced coriander. And we'll add that to our marinade. Okay, next up, we are going to get some preserved lemons. So preserved lemons are used in a lot of Moroccan cooking. I love them. I think they add just the most wonderful flavor. So maybe, I actually did have a video where I made the preserved onions.
Pickle jar. It's
So
rusted.
this is, yeah, it is rusted because the lemon corrodes the
Is there rust inside of it?
Not inside. It's on the outside. So these are the lemons. I made these, I think, sometime during the summer. Out on the deck.
Ew. Is it moldy?
It's not moldy.
What happened to it?
It's this one. I'll toss the top one.
That one's died.
All right.
Even
So we'll use this one.
Even Mittens, Cooney.
Hey, come on. Pardon the interruption. So we'll take one of our preserved onions. So the preserved lemons. See what happens with children. Which we make by taking a lemon and cutting it into almost quarters and then packing it with salt. And then you let that sit and it pretty much, it's almost like making pickles.
That's what preserved lemon looks like?
Yes.
Why is it all like slimy?
Because it's been sitting in salt.
For how long?
For months now, actually.
Months?
Yeah.
Jesus, why would you put lemons and salt for over a month?
It preserves them. That's why they're called preserved lemons. So I'm taking out the seeds here.
Sorry. Let me go.
And try to get as many as you can. If it's a seedy lemon, it can be a little tough. I also do try to keep the entire lemon I try to keep the lemon together because we use it for decoration at the end here. But if it doesn't stay together, if you lose one, that's not too bad. Okay, and you can kind of squeeze your seeds out here. This is a seedy one. Alright, so, almost got them all. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to take this and chop it up. So we're taking the flesh from the preserved lemons and chopping that. And we're putting aside the peel. For now. This is already really kind of mushy, so it doesn't take much chopping. It's almost like a paste, a lemon paste. Okay, so now we're going to take our peel and we're going to have a different bowl over here, and we'll put that peel aside. And with that, we are going to put some olives. So what we're making tonight is a chicken tagine with olives and lemon. And potato and carrots. Okay, so unfortunately in the United States you cannot get olives like you can in Morocco. So we just have to do our best with what we have. And actually the store was even out of the olives that I really wanted. So we're just going to go with these, and I'm sure they'll be just fine. So you can do this kind of to taste. If you really like olives, take a ton, which I'm going to. Otherwise, you can take about 10, 12. This is kind of nice. It's a nice little variety here. And why not? Just a few more. Just a few. Okay, so we will put that aside. Now we're we're going to take some potatoes. Again here, so what you need to keep in mind is that all this is going to go into a tagine, which is a limited amount that you can put in that cooking vessel. So don't go too crazy with all the stuff you're putting in there. That's a reminder to myself more than anything else. So maybe I'll just go with the one potato. You can peel the potato if you prefer. I'm not going to. I don't mind the peel. I think it has healthy nutrients. And we're going to slice this, not like French fry thin, but fairly thin, because it's not going to have that long to cook. So you do want to keep it fairly thin. You could also quarter it if you want, or eighth it, I guess, eighth it. But I tend to like to do the slices. I feel like it cooks better. So now we'll take this potato and put that in with the olives and the lemon. And then when I went to the market today, they had the most beautiful rainbow carrots that I could not resist. So I got a few of those, and I think I'll add those as well. And we'll just remove some of the peel here. You can use a peeler or just the side of your knife. Every time I do that, it's like potato, maybe a little thinner because carrots are a little denser, but similar size. Similar width, that is. Similar size. And I won't use all of them, just a little for some color. And again, you could cut these in an entirely different way to make it attractive once you assemble the tagine. Okay. So we'll set that aside. Now we'll come back over here to this mixture, and we're going to add some ginger. Now, normally you might add some dried ginger. I don't happen to have any dried ginger right now, but I do have fresh ginger. So we're going to use my handy dandy porcelain grater, which I love for ginger. And cut a chunky off. Around the skin off a bit. Okay. Now we will use our porcelain grater to grate this in. And you can kind of do this to taste as well. I like to go heavy on the spices when I'm doing a tagine. I think it makes it all the more delicious, nice and flavorful. go too crazy now. All right, and then we're going to add some turmeric and a little Moroccan spice mixture that I have here. Now this is mainly made up of turmeric and some other proprietary spices. It's straight from Morocco. And I'm going to add a decent amount of it. Now if you have saffron, you could add a little piece of that, just a pinch of that, and that would be fantastic. I don't happen to have any saffron right now, and the store was sold out, so we're saffron free. Now we're going to add just a tiny pinch of salt. Now the preserved lemons are very, very salty, so you don't want to add very much salt, just a little bit. You can always add more later, but you can't take it away. Now we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil to this, which normally, you know I'm not much of a measurer, but for this I'm going to measure. And there's 1 and 2. Okay. Now it's time for the chicken. Do a little quick cleanup rearranging. Make room. And so for this, again, you have to be mindful of how much can go into the tagine. It is not giant. It's maybe a 10-inch tagine, and it can fit maybe about the 4 legs and thighs that I have here. Take our chicken. Actually, you know what we're going to do first? We're going to mix up our tagine spices here. So, you can do this with an actual spoon if you want, or you can use your hands. Just a warning, if you do use your hands, you're going to be yellow for a few days from the turmeric in there. But I know I'm going to be using my hands to apply it to the chicken soon, so I might as well just mix it in my hands. Alright, so now we'll take our chicken and put that in there. Ooh. Actually, I don't know if we're going to be able to fit 4. I think we can do 3, but not 4. I will post the recipe. I can give you an estimation of what is in the proprietary blend. Okay, so here I'm just going to take 1 more out, so we'll do about 3 of the legs and thighs. Okay, so get that on in there, and now we're going to really spread that marinade onto it. And you can even take it and get up under the skin a little if you want. Could have even used a bigger bowl for this. It does smell very good. feel like I'm preparing for Thanksgiving here. All right, thanks for joining me, Tim. I'll put the recipe in the comments for later. All right, so we've really gotten it up under there for extra deliciousness. Now I am going to wash my hands. And then we'll be on to the next step. One moment. Alrighty. So, now we will move on over to the stove and get started on this tagine. So, let me shift us ever so slightly here. So with the tagine, you don't want to put it directly over the flame, if you can help it. It's best to have something in between the flame and the tagine. And here's the tagine. So this is a Moroccan cooking vessel. A lot of people think that it goes in the oven, but it actually does not. It is a stovetop cooking device. And often in Morocco, it's cooked on a propane tank with a little burner. Or on the grill. So we'll open it up. And fire it up. So while we're waiting for this to get hot, I'm going to put it at about a medium high. Well, we can do a little cleanup. It does take a few minutes for the pottery to get warm, and you do want to make sure it's hot before you, because we're going to sort of sear the chicken on it initially. Not yet. Not even close. Oh, thank you, Caitlin. Someday maybe I'll do there's a 7 vegetable couscous, which is vegetarian. It can be vegetarian, and it's very delicious. All right, we are getting there. course, having this barrier between the tagine and the flame also makes it a little longer to get to temperature. And in fact, I'm going to up the temperature just a little bit to make sure it's hot, hot. Hot, hot, hot. In Morocco, they hand roll the couscous, which I have not done yet, but maybe on my next trip. Okay, we're getting nice and hot now, but I want hotter. More. And actually, while I'm waiting, I will grab some tongs. Because we'll be needing these. Okay, add just a little olive oil on the bottom here. Maybe a teaspoon or so. Smear that around. And it's a little easier to see also if it's hot enough. Which I do see a little bubbling. So let's go ahead and put our chicken in. So I'm going to put it skin side down to begin with, because we want that skin to get some browning. Not quite hot enough yet. Whoa! That's what we want to hear. Like that sizzle. And it's a good thing I stuck to 3, huh? 4 would have been 1 too many. Even this is pushing it a little, but we can get away with it. Okay. And actually, now that we've done that, you can really get in here and scrape the rest of the marinade. Put that on top. Okay. I might kick it up all the way because I want a nice sear on here. Let's get that garlic skin out of there. I don't know how that got there. Onion skin. Okay, give this a minute to do its thing here. Or a few minutes to do its thing. Actually, we're going to sear it for about 20 minutes. So, in the meantime, I was going to make another something special, which is a recipe I got from my partner Mohammed. And this is a concoction that they make in Morocco that is supposedly very good for colds or flu or just feeling crummy. And unfortunately, I do feel a little crummy today. And so I'm going to make some and give it a try. So what we're going to do is take some mint, a nice big bunch of mint here. And I'm making a small batch of this. So I'll take about half the mint. You do want a lot of mint. Then we're going to take a lemon. And we can just quarter this. And put that in there, the whole thing. Then we're going to take, oh, I forget what this one is. It smells like cloves. I think it's cloves. I will verify this. So we're going to take about a little handful of cloves here. Again, don't be shy. No, be a little shy. A little more shyer than that. So, about a handful of cloves, and put that in there. And now we're going to cover this with water, some nice filtered water. Okay, so we put a good amount of water in there to cover. And then we're going to put that on the stove. Make a little room here. We've got a nice sizzle going on here. I love that. Now, I'm going to turn it down just a little now. I'm still going to keep it fairly high. And I'm going to put the tagine cover on. But we will check it from time to time. So now we're going to put our little mint and lemon and clove mixture on the stove and boil. So hopefully that is the thing to cure what ails you. And so while we're waiting for that, we can kind of do a little more tidying up. Keep an eye on our tagine. We can save that mint for some mint tea. Maybe have a little snack while you're waiting. I will be right back. Now let's take a little look at the tagine. Make sure it's not sticking. So the top here, you can see it is hollow here in the middle, which some people think that is to add water, but actually it's so you can grab it without getting burnt. So ingenious. So then you can grab it like that, and then you put the lid down like that. So I'm just gonna, let's see, let's stick the skin here. There we go. Very good. back on. Now over here is our exciting concoction. I've never tried this, so I am super excited about it. Only smells a little, so far. So far. So we are bringing that to a boil. I'll repackage this leftover chicken leg. Save that for another time. Now when I put something into the freezer, which I'm going to do with this, I do like to date it. So let's see, today is, sometimes it has a little space you can write on. 11/14/20. Alright, we've started to boil a little over here in our mint concoction. Let's see how long we should boil that for. I might have to check in with my source. Too bad he's not watching like he's supposed to be. Now also, while you're waiting for this, it's a great time to prepare like a little salad. I was hoping to make a cucumber and tomato and onion salad, but they didn't wind up in my bag, so that is not happening. But that's a great salad to have as an appetizer before your tagine. And we can talk about the bread. So typically, the tagine is not served with a rice or a couscous or something, a starch on the side. It does have the potatoes in it already. It is served with, not with sourdough bread, but that's what I was able to get. Usually it's served with more of a flat bread that you then tear apart, and you use the bread to pinch the meat and the veggie mixture straight out of the tagine. And it's delicious. Ooh, we've got a real boil going over here. Ooh, so now that clove smell is really coming out, as is the mint. Ooh, it smells really good too. I'll turn it down just a little so it's not quite as rolling the boil. Let me see if I can find out how long we're supposed to cook that for. Alrighty. Definitely still got a good boil going here. I'm going to turn it down just a little again. Get it down to a simmer. Simmer down now. And we could have a quick look at our chicken, see how that's progressing. Those onions have made some nice liquid now. That one still wants to be a little sticky. Actually gonna turn over the chicken at this point. And you can see that that turmeric is really giving it that lovely yellow color. All right, very good. Put that back on. Now it can be just like one of those soothing videos that just have the sounds that are relaxing. And I could talk really relaxing like this. I can't remember what those are called. ASMR? It is quite relaxing to listen to the sounds. The little boil and sizzles. Actually, what I'm going to do while we're waiting here is maybe a few months ago on the show, I made this green juice that I have since fallen in love with, and I do feel like it actually makes a big difference in how I feel. So I've started drinking it almost every day. And what I'll do is I'll take it, and if I have a huge bunch, I just made this yesterday, I will keep it in the blender, and then I'll just give it a little zip zip. To mix it up again. And ooh, I can smell the chicken cooking now too. That smells really good. Mmm. And so we'll have ourselves a nice little green juice while we wait. This is an especially spinachy bunch. This is the first time I used frozen spinach and frozen kale to make it. And it feels, well, it tastes very concentrated. So it's like a super boost. But I like it. Okay, we'll check here on our mint lemon. Ooh, it smells so good. And also, of course, it's good if you have a cold. You know, be careful with the steam, but to get that steam, it's very nice. Inhale some of that steam. It's very good. Okay, so the chicken's been cooking probably about 20 minutes, I would say. And at this point, since it's a bone-in chicken, it does have to cook for quite a while. But let's add our other ingredients at this point. Oh, it's starting to smell super, super, super good. I'm so excited. I really wanted to eat this today, so this is great. All right, let's move it around just a little. I have not mastered how to not get it to stick to the bottom. Now, if you like, you could dump the whole thing on and then just put the lid on and be done with it. I like to do it kind of an arranging. Since it's served in the tagine also, often they make a very nice arrangement. So when you take off that lid, it's very attractive and impressive. Which is, of course, what you want your cooking to be. Alright, so there's all our potato. I'm not going to be quite as precise with the... Well, yeah, I am. Arrange your carrots. Dun, 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 dun. It really smells yummy. Where'd that little bit of potato come from? So you can get kind of fancy with your designs if you so desire. Oh, I'm going after that one. There. Looks pretty cool. Now take your olives and distribute them around. Often just green olives with pits are used in this dish. But this is what we have, so this is what we use. Alright, and now I'm actually going to take our bit of lemon peel here that we have. And what you do here is make slices. So slice that, and slice that, and then place it on top, like that, and you've made your hand of Fatima, or the Hamsa hand, which brings good luck and protects from evil and brings good health. So we put that right on top, And then we can take our lid and squeeze all that in there. Always pushing it to the limit. And so now we'll cook this for about 20 minutes more. I'm going to turn it down a little bit to a simmer. And we'll let that cook with the lid on as tightly as we can. I'm going to squish it down a little. There we go. It is almost like steaming in there. So you do want to try to have a tight fitting lid to really get that steam going. It's pretty important. It's important to get a tagine where the lid does not let a lot of air escape from underneath. So sometimes if you're shopping for a tagine, if you're in a place where there are a lot of tagines, you might have to find a bottom and find a separate top that is the perfect fit. Now let's check over here. Oh, it's fantastic. Alright, we'll see if we can get an answer on how long to let this simmer for, and I will post that in the comments later. And I will also show the finished tagine once it's all done. And so I think that's it for tonight. I'll let you know how it goes and how it tastes, and I can already tell you it's going to be fantastic because it smells so good. And I'm very excited to eat it, and I think I'm really hungry too. So thank you for joining me, and please do join me again next week on Saturday at 5 for Cooking with Carolina. So thanks. Bye.